You've been told your whole life that wealth is the goal, that power is success, that more is better. But what if the richest man in Rome, the one who had it all, told you the opposite? What if he looked you in the eye and said, "None of this will make you free"? This isn't fiction. It's the voice of Lucius Annaeus Seneca, one of the earliest voices of Stoic philosopher, senator, advisor to emperors, warning us across 2,000 years. Not from poverty, but from privilege. And in a world addicted to ambition, his warning has never been more urgent. Seneca wasn't scribbling in the dark. He was at the center of power. A man whose name echoed through the highest halls of Rome. And yet he left behind not a legacy of dominance, but a philosophy. A quiet rebellion against the tyranny of more. If you listen closely, you'll hear the question behind every word. He wrote, "Can you live in the world without being owned by it?" Seneca was born into wealth, raised in privilege, groomed for greatness. But somewhere along the way, he began to question what everyone else chased. In his letters to Lucius, you can feel the inner war. A man wrapped in luxury but searching for simplicity. Sitting beside emperors but fearing what power does to the soul. And here's the thing, that same tension lives in us. We scroll, we chase, we measure ourselves by likes, dollars, applause, but still feel empty. Seneca saw that 2,000 years ago, and he asked, what if all this striving is the real trap? He didn't reject wealth. He didn't preach poverty. He simply warned, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. That's not just a line, it's a diagnosis. To the Stoics, wealth is an indifferent, neither good nor bad. It's fire, it can warm you, or burn everything down. This is one of the central truths of Stoic philosophy. Seneca held wealth loosely. He had villas. He had servants. He loaned money to the state. But he also practiced voluntary discomfort. He fasted, slept on stone, wore coarse fabric despite owning silk. Why? Because he feared luxury more than hardship. He wanted to know, if it all disappeared tomorrow, would I collapse? That's the Stoic test, and it's one we can ask today. Would you still feel grounded? Without the job title, without the apartment, without the image. That's not detachment. That's discipline. That's strength. Seneca didn't run from influence. He advised Nero, one of the most dangerous emperors in Roman history. But he never stopped asking, what is this doing to me? He once wrote, no man has been made better by power. Because power doesn't purify. It reveals. If you're insecure, it will make you paranoid. If you're greedy, it will make you ruthless. If you're wise, it will test your wisdom to the core. Seneca watched men rise with good intentions and fall to ego. He saw ambition become addiction, power become poison. And how different is our world today, CEOs, celebrities, influencers. They start with vision and end in vanity. Because without self-mastery, success becomes self-destruction. Seneca didn't envy those wrapped in gold. He admired the ones who could walk away from it. He wrote, "It is not the man who walks in gold who is rich, but he who walks free of it." That freedom, that inner independence was the only wealth worth keeping. Not just for philosophers, for anyone trying to lead in a world of noise. Seneca's greatness wasn't in his perfection. He made mistakes. He had contradictions. But he kept coming back to one compass, character over comfort. In an age like ours, where one comment can end a career, where burnout is a badge of honor, Seneca's words feel like a wake-up call. Real leadership is invisible, it's quiet, and it endures. He once wrote, "A wise man is content with himself. The crowd adds nothing to him." That alone could dismantle our entire culture of validation, because Stoic philosophy teaches you are enough, even when the world forgets you. So ask the hard questions. When you get the raise, could I let it go tomorrow and still be at peace? When you're offered more responsibility, does this feed my mission or just my ego? When you reach a milestone, does this make me better or just busier? And when pressure hits, can you pause and respond? Not with pride, but with clarity. That's Stoic leadership. Not passive, not cold, but fiercely centered. Seneca didn't just write about it, he lived it. Even as the empire crumbled around him, he searched for what could never be taken. His deepest question echoes still, who am I without all this? Without the titles, without the riches, without the crowd. Strip it all away, who remains? If you're not sure, that's not a failure, that's a beginning. Because one day, the applause will fade, the positions will shift, the wealth will disappear, and all that remains is the soul you've been shaping in private. Through your choices, your responses, your values. That's the true resume, the only one that matters. So take a breath, step back, ask not, what do I want to gain, but what am I afraid to lose? That's where real growth begins. The Stoics didn't reject the world. They walked through it fully awake, fully human. The more honest you are with that question, the more aligned you become with what Stoic philosophy calls virtue. Not perfection, but wholeness, not escape, but clarity. And in that clarity, you don't need to be celebrated, you just need to be anchored. If this stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone chasing more when maybe they already have enough. Because peace doesn't come from power, it comes from within. And if you're ready to walk deeper into the wisdom of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, subscribe to Stoic Leadership Insights, where we explore the truths of Stoic philosophy and reclaim the quiet strength of timeless leaders. Lead not by conquering the world, but by mastering yourself.